Hi, I am Mark Allen Bourbon and I'm going to discuss the definition, locations, and functions of the periodontal ligament.
Hi, I am Ivan Mendoza Alisna,
And I am Pauline M. Manatikla.
and together we will discuss the fibrous elements.
Hi, I'm Cole Miguel and I will be discussing the cellular elements of the periodontal ligament.
I am Dana Achanza and I will be discussing the blood vessels, nerves, and lymphatics of the periodontal ligament.
Hi, I'm Mark Daniel Cornelia, and this is Physiologic Changes and Clinical Considerations of the PDL.
Come with me as we gain more knowledge about the periodontal ligament. Are you ready? Come on, let's go! Ta-da! Periodontal ligament is a soft, specialized connective tissue situated between the cementum, covering the root of the tooth, and the bone forming the socket wall. Do you want to know about the important function of the periodontal ligament? The PDL supports the teeth and at the same time permitting them to withstand to the considerable forces of mastication. It acts a sensory receptor which is necessary for the proper positioning of the jaws during the normal mastication.
Fibrous elements. The connective tissue fibers are mainly consist of collagen fibers. But now, let us learn about the small amount of fibers that are found in the periodontal ligament, which are the elastic, the reticular, secondary, and Sharpie fibers. Elastic fibers are limited to bigger areoles and big arteries. There are types of elastic fibers, which are mature ones, elamines, and occipital. The mature type of elastic fibers are mainly consist of microfibrillar sock. They are observed at the appearance walls of blood vessels where elastic lamellae constitute. While the elamine, these look like bundles of microfibrils. They are located at the fibers of the gingival ligament, which constitutes the elastic meshwork of the periodontal ligament. And lastly, the occipital. The occipital is a type of immature fibers which consists of microfibrils only. It is inserted into the cementum running towards two different directions. Instead of one end is inserted into cementum and bone, the other end is inserted to the walls of the blood vessels. The reticular fibers are limited to capillaries. They are made of type 3 collagen, which are fine, immature collagen fibers. The secondary fibers. The secondary fibers are located among and between the principal fibers. These are non-directional, transverse, and randomly oriented. And lastly, the Sharpie fibers. This is a matrix of connective tissue consists of bundles of strong, predominantly type 1 collagen fibers. This connects the periosteum and the bone. This anchors the periosteum, the bone, and the cementum essentially for the functions of the periodontal ligament.
There are different groups of principal fibers: the gingival, the transeptal or the interdental, and the alveolodental ligaments. The gingival ligaments are a group of fibers that is attached from the cementum towards the lamina propria, while on the other hand, the transeptal or the interdental group of fibers are fibers that is attached from the cementum of one tooth to the adjacent tooth. While the alveolodental ligaments are a group of fibers that is attached from the cementum towards the alveolar bone, and it is subdivided into different subunits. First is the alveolar crest group. This connects the tooth and the alveolar crest and forms a collar that surrounds the neck, and it is also called a circular ligament. Next is the horizontal group. These are a group of fibers that runs horizontally from the cementum to the alveolar bone. Third is the oblique group. These are a group of fibers that is found at the apical two-thirds of the alveolar bone, and it runs coronally. It provides the main support for occlusal stress. Fourth is the apical group. These are a group of fibers that connects the apex of the root to the fundus of the alveolar bone. And finally, the interradicular group. These are a group of fibers found in multi-rooted tooth and connects the cementum of the furcation to the interradicular bone.
First, we have synthetic cell, which includes the fibroblasts, which is long, slender shape with large oval nuclei with granular cytoplasm. Next is cementoblast, which is flat and with flat nuclei, and also osteoblast for the cell formation. Second is the resorptive cell, which includes the osteoclast, which found along the skull depression called the house-shaped line. Second is the fibroblast, which is the large, flat, elongated principle with active cells of the connective tissue. Lastly, segmental cementoblast, which also resembles the osteoblast and also located at the house-shaped lacunae. Also, we have progenitor cells, which is undifferentiated cells with small nuclei and cytoplasm. And also, it can undergo mitotic. And also, we have epithelial cell, which is the epithelial rest cell of molasses, a group of cells surrounded with a delicate membrane, which is the remnants of the hairy root sheet. Furthermore, we have other cells. First is mast cell, which is large round nuclei found in the connective tissue that synthesize heparin and histamine. And also macrophage, which is concerned with ingesting and digesting foreign bodies and debris.
So the blood supply of the PDL. The afferent arteries come from three sources. First is the branches of dental artery. The dental artery, before entering the apical foramen, provides branches supplying the PDL. Second is the branches from interdental or interalveolar arteries. They penetrate the interdental bone and gives off branches to supply the PDL in the interdental gingiva. Next is branches from interradicular artery. It invades the interradicular septum and its course gives small branches to supply the PDL, and the terminal branches supply the tissues and the bifurcations. For the nerves of the PDL follow the path of the vessels and come from dental, interdental, and interradicular nerves. Lastly, the lymphatic vessels. The lymphatic capillaries follow the course of the veins, and the flow of the lymph follow the venous flow.
Did you know that our teeth has a tendency to drift towards the midline? This mechanism is called the physiologic visual drifting. What happens here is that the proximal contact points between the teeth are flattened and they tend to move visually. During drifting, the periodontal fibers on the distal is stretched and the interstitial space becomes elliptical, while on the mesial side, the fibers are relaxed and the interstitial space becomes round. This drifting gives off a greater width of PDL on mesial than on the distal side. Take note that PDL decreases with age in width. We have knew that the primary role of the periodontal ligament is to support the tooth in bony socket. Let's take note that its thickness varies in different individuals, in different tooth in the same person, and in different locations on the same tooth. And also, remember that the PDL is thin in functionless and embedded teeth and wide in teeth that are under excessive occlusal stresses. Moreover, the most common pathology related to PDL is the periodontitis. This is a gum disease that is caused by periodontic bacteria coupled with specific host inflammatory response. If this progresses, it will lead to tooth mobility and further loss of tooth.